So Trump again is trumping up charges to invade and topple Iran. He's saying this for nuclear strikes, but that's a lie because he already attacked their nuclear refinery centrifuge plants. So Iran doesn't pose no immediate threat as far as enriching nuclear grade isotopes for nuclear weapons. What Trump is trumping up charges and using this fake pretext is to try to overthrow the Iranian government to prop up a puppet king, the Shah, for oil. Because OPEC Plus decoupled from the petrodollar. So now Trump is desperately trying to make these oil moves in order to hedge off a total collapse of the petrodollar. So he's conjuring up lies, excuses. He's trumping up excuses only to make a move and try to topple the Iranian regime in the hopes that they could start to fend off the total collapse of the petrodollar on the global stage. Trump is nothing but a venomous snake, oil peddler, snake remedist. He created this crypto scheme of his American Bitcoin, World Liberty cryptos, and then put a bunch of stable coins in there to peg it to the petrodollar, only for him to make these oil moves and enrich himself and the oil interests in America. That's why he trumped up charges on Venezuela President Maduro, only to kidnap him illegally, to rape and pillage and plunder Venezuela for the oil. Now he's turning his attention to Iran, and in the hopes that he can topple that regime and impose a puppet king, the Shah, and keep Iranian oil pegged to the American currency. That's what he's trying to do in Venezuela. After he kidnapped Maduro, he's trying to enforce the Venezuelan government to float oil in American petrodollars. So Trump is like a desperate snake venomous peddler with snake remedies. He's a venomous snake at that. Anyway, so since the United States currency is collapsing globally, since OPEC Plus decoupled, Trump is desperately trying to tariff the world into submission and desperately trying to hold on to a world order that is decoupling from the world reserve currency, the American currency, that was propped up by the monopoly on the world stage by us controlling the world oil supply. And since America uses economic currency and economical global America uses global financing, global institutions to leverage our economics global system as a weapon against third world nations by weakening other nations, by controlling the world financial system as far as the IMF, the WTO, the Bank of Settlements, the World Bank, the SWIFT system. Since America controls that by having a monopoly, by trying to peg every nation on earth to our currency, now the world is sick and tired of being enslaved by America's greed. And the love of all evil goes back to the American currency under the Trump administration, trying to enslave every nation to our greed by pegging every nation to our currency. So the world is tired of America's greed. America's never-ending imperialistic, capitalist greed mongering of trying to have a monopoly on every nation on earth with their world reserve status as an exuberant privilege. The world is tired of being enslaved while America thinks that they're snobbishly rich by having the privileged reserve currency to peg every nation to America's currency and keep every nation enslaved to America's whims. So the world is tired of it. And Trump is trumping up falsified excuses to make a move on Iran. He's saying this is because of developing nuclear weapons, which is bullshit. Because he said a month ago, we completely and totally obliterated the Iranian capacity for them to create nuclear weapons. We said that 2 months ago when he attacked Iran and destroyed their enrichment centrifuge nuclear plants. He said it was a total and complete obliteration. So he's using a falsified excuse this time around to prop up a king, a puppet king, only to keep Iranian oil pegged to the American currency. So Trump is panicking that the whole world is abandoning the American currency as a reserve status, global reserve status, and he's making power moves, if you will. But the more he makes, the more desperate he looks for oil, the more precarious an acceleration to the world decoupling from this particular currency. Because for one nation to try to enslave every nation to our greed of our currency, to enslave every nation to be dependent on having our currency as reserve status, to give America the impunity, totalitarian ability to control the world-based financial system and then leverage it as a weapon, the world is tired of being enslaved. And those days are coming to an end.